Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm actually doing this video out of town for your learning. It's going to be very brief. I'm just going to do Eurusd and Euro pounds. I will just touch on those two to talk about the internal structures of those, and we'll see the internal architecture of those two pairs. We know that we have been on ending structure on the Euro USD. Likewise, most of these Euro pairs, we are on ending structure. That's what we are doing. As you can see, the way the structure has been, going down. This is weekly chart. Mark you. So this is weekly chart, and you can see the way it has been going down. I don't need to go to what is happening here. So this is where we were after this move and this move, and this is like the wave 1 and wave 2 situation, and we've been going down, and presently this is where we are. So, and on the monthly time frame, we are still correcting with what you can see here. This is just correction. You can see this move is a bull statement to the downside. So we are still yet to see the movement from the bulls to take over the market and probably push it forward, upwards, or change the direction of the market. That is not what is happening. So now here you can see that it's still to and fro movement this month so far. This is this week. If you look at the month, let's look at the month. What the month has given us on Euro USD. Euro USD pretty much at, from this low here. Okay, let me try and enlarge. Yeah. From this low here to the low here, so we have not really moved further down, So we are still correcting, doing any diagonal to end this. So this is the movement we have here. So it will be hard for the price to come up here all of a sudden and break 1.02273. That is not where we expect price to even come to. It's like they have sealed that ceiling for now. The ceiling of 1.02273 has been sealed. So price is not coming to that level. And now, the price should come up to that level, then you can begin to think that probably we are doing an ABC correction, or we are changing the trend. So if we go inside of the weekly, you see we have a cap as in 1.02. Inside the weekly, we don't have a cap yet. So this is still the cap here. This is still the cap here. So which is around this area. Maybe here, maybe here, which is around 1.022. Price is not coming here. Price is not coming here. In the last week, you can see the price went a bit down or a bit up, and was not able to break that level of, which is 1.02279. So I don't see price coming up here to break. Do you understand? So whatever it is, this is 3 and this is 4, and we can ask ourselves if we are done with 2, because this is the beginning of 4 and this is what 3 gave us. Now 3 gave us this, and we are now seeing the internal structure, how it's unfolding to, okay. So sorry, I just had a bit of rotation in that place. So I switched to the daily for us to see what is happening on the daily. So from this move here, there has been a correction. So price, this is 3, this is 4. Price came down to do the first one of 5, right? So this is 1 of 5 that came down, and we are, this is like the upper limit of 2 of 5. Now we are seeing like with 3 or 5 unfolding. That is what we should just take from here. Now, this is correction to the upside, an impulsive movement, and this is correction to the upside, a bit of an impulse to the upside, then they forced it down. Now price is again correcting to the upside. So this is going to be a correction. Now what we want to see is that, do you think that the price is going to correct almost immediately to the upside as the opening of the market today? That is what we want to see. Or that we are likely going to still break low before moving up again. We want to see what is likely to happen. So let's go inside of that 4 hour, and I will bring something out for you. Let me bring out for us to be as fast as possible. Let me do it again for you to see. Now again, if you look, this is 3 and this is 4 and this is our 5-1. So let me bring out the instrument for you to see. Now this, so far price still remain below this level of where 5-1 started from, which is 1.03704. We are still bearish. The day will say something is not well with the market. It's when we break this level here of 1.03704. So we need to break that. But then, if this is wave 1 here, and this is wave 2 that we are seeing, is this wave 2? Is it done? Now, bring it back now. So you'll see what I'm trying to talk about. This is 3 and 4. This is 4. This is the beginning of wave 5-1. This is 1 of 5, and this is 2 of 5. And that was what we missed last week. We missed that last week, but nevertheless, we still have an opportunity to. Now, the price couldn't do a deep correction. So it is the beginning of 5, where 4 terminates or ended, the beginning of 5-1 to the end of 5-1 for now, which is here. Now, this is it is 85. So far, this is 90. So far, price is below 1.3200, or let me say yes, 1.3, because this is 85, 1029. So far, price is still below 1.0300. We are still good to sell. But that is, you'll be expecting that if you don't know what the structure is telling you. So the probability of price still coming up here, it's very remote. Very, very remote. Very, very, very remote. So the probability of price breaking down, even for probability of price breaking this level of 1.0200, let me use that word. Yeah, this because it's 1.01969 really. But let's say 1.0200. The probability of price breaking it is also very remote. It's like maybe 2% or 3%. So we might not see price break above here. But what I'm trying to let you know is that even if price breaks above here, we still expect this level to hold price. But that the price is going to now break this level, it looks most probably unlikely. The reason being that at the level price is to 2, for us to have a 2 here, and for what price has done so far at 76 of a retracement to the downside, if you want to have a zigzag formation, it's going to break above this level, and price will not do that. You see, I'm trying to interrogate you. I'm trying to discuss this for you to understand why at this level price will not break this level. So you don't expect price to even come up and break this place. So because if what I'm trying to say, I want you to see a retracement here is at 76. So if you're going to have an 100, extension from this area, and see where 100 is going to fall. 100 is actually falling here. Well, it's still possible. It's still possible. So far, it is below this area. It's still possible. So it's possible, but I don't see that now. I don't see that now. One thing I want you to know is that if price likes and break this above, we're still going to sell. So far, this place is still holding. When price break above, we look for opportunity to do what to do sell, because this structure downward is not yet complete. The structure to the downside is not complete. This is just 5-1, and within 5-1 and 5-2, we are yet to see 5-3. If this one gave us a 5-1 situation and a 5-2 situation, so we still need to break at least below this one, because wave 3 is never the shortest. So we still need wave 3 to break below 1, which is the entire wave here, before we can say, okay, after the break of wave 1 and we are done with wave 3, then we cannot begin to think that, okay, if you're going to have the last wave, wave 5, it may not break wave 3 because it's an ending diagonal, if it's going to give us an ending diagonal. But not in all cases of ending diagonal do we have the last wave truncated. So it might not be truncated. So let's get all these things into our cerebrum and begin to, negotiate as such. But now, even if price still goes a bit down to do a 90, let's look at that possibility of turning this one to a regular flag and later bringing this one down. It will still be falling under this area, but I don't think so because of this impulse. I don't think so. So these had been probably tapped, but we're going to still treat this. It's about 80% or 90% wise to treat this move to the downside as wave 3-1, and we're going to have a wave 3-2 to the upside. So, and wave 3-2 is going to be within what you expect 2 to be, to look like, which is 50 or 61, But you can peg at 61.8, thinking that if price, wants to do over 61.8 is still good, if you're going to see a price action there or not. So, but now, let's now begin to look inside of this structure to see that this wave 3-1 itself, that we mark 3-1, has it ended or not? That is what is very important. That is what I'm about doing. Has it ended? Let's go inside of the 1 hour or 45 minutes, or let's say, let's look for 1 hour structure if you're going to see anything here. Now, this is 1 hour. This is 1 hour. So looking at this wave came down and this wave went up. That is a 1 and a 2. And typical of a 3, you can see that the typical of a 3 there is a momentum. This is typical of a 3 wave to the downside. Now the price came down here. Now with this is not these are not giving us an ending diagonal here. So because we had seen in the lower time frame, we had seen wave 1 and wave 2 clearly, and the wave 3 in the making. But then we have not seen wave 4. We need to see a wave 4 and we need to see a wave 5 to be sure that we have ended this. We need to see a wave 1 and wave 4 to be sure that we have ended this. Now, if I go inside of 15 minutes, I want you to see something. Now, this is a 15 minutes chart of Euro USD. Now, this is wave 1 and wave 2, and momentum of wave 3, and wave 3, may have ended itself here. So because this one looks like an ending diagonal here, the way it came down, one itself out here. So we may be seeing a wave 4 in the making. And so if it's wave 4, it might be difficult for you to say this is where wave 4 is going to end. So if you take your twos from the 2 to where 3 is at the moment, which is at this point, you should expect your wave 4 around 38, which is here, or 50, which is at the level where you have this pink. Or is it yeah, pink. So 50 is at that level, and a 38. Price at touch 38 now. Price at touch 38. And is this thing now done? That is what we need to see. Is this thing done? That is what we need to see. So what I'm thinking is that price may first complete, because wave 5 is not completed here. We've not done wave 5. So what I'm saying is that we need to complete wave 4 to the upside. Now finish up wave 5 to the downside before we now start correction of wave 3 too. This structure is not completed for the 5. So this is like a 3-2, 3-1 that is not completed yet. But nevertheless, you can still put an entry here because the 4th wave will not do more than 50 here. So if we are drawn in, good, we will sell with the price to finish with 5. And if we get a price action for upside, because what we expect is that the price is going to go up today, this coming week, but maybe not immediately. The price may still go a bit up and come down. So we still need to finish. This wave is not finished. That's what I'm saying now. Looking at this particular wave, because when we have this as ending diagonal for this particular wave, and this looks like an A, and this looks like what? A B and a C. Then we have another structure, mini structure here, because at the end of the day, you can say this is like an A. If you want to, in total, if this is one's like, okay, price had to move like this, an A and a B and a C. Then after a C, the price came down to do this, to start another move of the last leg here. This might just be the last leg here to correct wave 4 to the upside. So if we look at this internal structure here, the internal structure here for this upside may now look like this is wave 1 and a wave 2 and a wave 3 situation and a wave 4. So we might need to push up to do this to finish a wave 5 of this particular structure to end 4. So this wave is not completed. Is not completed. So it might it's likely to run a 5-wave structure from here, which is a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. After a 5, we're going to now have a 5, the 5th leg to the downside. So the 5th leg can anyhow here. If we are drawn in at this level, fine. If you're not drawn in, let's wait. All we will now do is that once we have a break to the downside, we'll now look to buy, because that is what we have to do for now. We have to buy. Let me go inside of 1 hour. So if we buy, assuming that this one corrects and finish 4 here, so we're going to have a 5 to the downside to now finish a 3-1. So, and what do we expect? An inverse of 3 to 4 to at 123 or 161.8. So if that is assuming, because this thing is not ended, it will be difficult for me to give you a level. So assuming it's here that is going to end, how did I even get this place in the first place? And I'm zooming because really, okay, let me go inside of it so that you understand how I got that. I'm showing you too much, but I need to show you that really. I need to show you that really. So for you to see something. So really, if you look at here, from here, a wave 1 to the upside to the limit of this wave for now, which is here at this top here. So this is like, if you look at it, it is like a 2, which is about almost 85.4. So that's like a two, with 2, a wave 1 situation and wave 2 situation. And for this to be a wave 3, it must go beyond 1.618. So let's see if it's going to qualify. You see, I'm trying to be as quick as possible. So from this to wave 1, back to this level, the low here. So now this is 161.8 at this level. So it has broken it. So it's qualified for wave 3. So now if this move is a wave 4, so let's see if this thing qualifies for wave 4. So we take it from here, from the top of 3, sorry, from the 2, which is from this low. And you see from that low 2 here to the peak of 3 rather, and exactly at 50. So this is at 50 here. So that qualifies for what with 4. Now, for us to pick a wave 5, we know again there has to be a 123 to 161.8 to get a wave 5. So so to finish this wave, I didn't label it here. So from this tip of 3 to where 4 is, it is at this level. So 123 is where I put this, and 161 almost is touching the pink. Now you see it's really just like 1 pips touching this. So we expect that around this area, price will turn to the downside. So I still expect that this is going to go up, break the structure above or not. If they truncate it at this level, it may just kiss this level and begin to go down. And when that happens, just know that they have finished that wave 4 and they want to now do a wave 5. So, and if you're going to count a wave 5 to the downside, we'll still continue to count that wave 5, that last wave of 5 to the downside, because what is it going to do? Because this is 1, a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5 to finish 4. And for the 5, they would throw 1 leg down, a 2, then a 3, a 4, and a 5. That's the way it's going to run. So now, since I've shown you how I got that entry, how I got that entry. So where this one is going to terminate, of course, is also going to be a 123 or 161.8 to the downside for us to finish this, the last sell. So assuming if it's here, if it goes above to pink, of course we readjust it. So 123 is at this level and 161 is at this level. That is where exactly I put this blue zone for more upside. So that will finish 5 here, which is like a 3-1. Then if that is the case, from any level here, we're not going to now sell 3-2 before we now go down. After 3-2, because all these things will just be correcting now. We're going to be seeing some corrections that may just take the whole of the week. It's going to, before we see a 3-3 going to the downside, it might be next week. So that's what I'm saying. So if you want to actually do anything, I would want us to probably come down here to pick a sell. If you're able to pick a sell, we'll sell. So I put this down here. So once it's broken, I will be looking for a sell, a buy. So if it comes here, if you can pick a buy here, fine, good. So once the price is done here, of course, it's still going to push back. And if it push back, then we'll see how we navigate it. So we might be looking for a buy first before we now do a sell. So assuming we have a reaction around this area or around this area. So if it's around this area, which is 123, then a 2 later will now look like this. A 2 later will now put 61.8 in this zone for a further sell. So with that, once the price comes to this zone and enters this area, we're going to break to the downside. So I hope you understand that. That is what we are looking at. And if we break to the downside from there, well, it's like revealing too much, because you can't quote the figure not until price takes those area, because I don't know if it's going to be 123 or 161. So I don't know. If it's going to be 140, 141, I don't know. So price has to terminate here and change direction before we know, okay, this is next level. So we are just telling you what price can do, or the way it can behave. So if eventually price now came back up to take this area and begin to go down, then we can now begin to look at where price is going to go next. So by putting a 1 from here, this is a 1. You see this quotation, just don't mind, it's the network. It's the network that is fumbling. Now, I'm going to the second one. I'm going to be very fast. I don't want it to be long. I just want to see what is happening. This is Euro pounds. This is the daily candle. I showed you this one already yesterday. And to tell you, this is 3, 4, and 5, and we are seeing an ABC. If eventually we are done with Euro USD and USD pairs, it's also we're going to treat it as an ABC correction to the upside until something else change. Now, you understood what I told you about an A. This reaction is at 76, and this is the area where we expect 100 to terminate. Now, this is a zigzag. Sorry, a 5-way structure, 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5 situation. This is like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 situation. By the time you look at the internal structure, it may run like a 5-way, of course. Now, this is the last wave. So, and I've told you that we expect at 100, 100 extension, and we say that for us to have an 100 extension, which is expected of a zigzag correction. So we start from here to the end of A, back to the end of B, to the beginning of C, and that 100 is going to fall around this area, around this blue zone. This is where 100 is going to fall. Now, but to be precise, to look at the internal structure of that and see what we are seeing, what is giving us. Now, this is what I'm about showing you on this particular instrument and why I'm giving you this. Now, so looking at this structure of C to the upside, I hope you can see it. Now, from here to here is 1, then we have a flat correction for a wave 2 here. So it is A, B, and a C, and it's a running flat situation here between 1 and 2. So a 2, and just like I did for Euro USD, the extension here stalled at 61.8. I've done it. If you take your tools, is at and this is like 61.8. So if you take it up to this point, so exactly about 61.8, and you have that. Now, if you take to 3 also had run up from 1 to 2. If you do the extension here, it has broken above 161.8. So this qualifies for what? For a wave 3, and of course this also qualifies for a wave 4 before we now have a 5. So wave 5 finished up here. So if you want to see all of that from a 2 to where 3 terminated, which is around this area, so you can see is exactly at 38.2, which qualifies for a 4 here. So you can see it coincided with it, a 3 and a 4, and a 5 finished to finish to okay, to a 3. So, and what now happened is that we're now in the last wave, or which is the 5th wave now. So we are doing the 5th wave. So of course the 5th wave also is going to run like what 5-wave structure, because the first wave ran like a 5-wave structure here, and the ending diagonal which you are seeing here, then a 2 to finish. And also this one also ran like a 5-wave structure here, a 1, a 2, and elongated 3 and a 4, and all of that, a 4 here and a 5. So this 4 here is a big 4, which coincides with a big 4. So we are done with a big 4. This is a small 4 here. I don't see if you can. I don't know if you can see what I'm showing. Okay. So this is a small 4 here to finish this 5. A small 4 to finish this 5 and a big 4, and then we are inside of the last wave, which is 5, 1, 5, 1 of 5, and a 2 of 5. So if we go inside of that to see how that one is forming. So I've used red to annotate that. So I've used red. So after a 4, we have a 1 to the upside and a 2. And these two are dropped at what? At 161.8 from the beginning of a 4, which is the end of a 4, which is the beginning of a 1 or 5, and to this area exactly 161.8. That's where we got the reaction to the upside. Then of course price now. So now when we break this structure to the downside, we'll be finishing this 3 that is going up. We'll finish this 3 and we do a 4. Once we do a 4, then you can now find your inverse of 161, 123 or 161.8 to know where exactly they're going to finish up this wave. So we are yet to finish this. So the 3 will be finishing soon. The 3 will be finishing soon. This might just look like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 situation to finish a 5. So we might be doing an ending diagonal of the 3 that will now break through here to do a 4 and to have a 5 around this area. This is where we're expecting a sell. So that is what I'm just showing you now, counting the internal architecture of that wave. So now when that happens and we begin to turn downwards, what do we want to do? If we are turning downwards, once we know the level we are turning downwards, so all we can assume is this. I will show you, and I will end it there, so that you will know how wave runs. You must know the cycle and how wave runs itself. Like I told you, I said, for this particular structure, I said we may do an A and a B and a C, and price will still break all the way to downside before eventually we now turn up properly. But the least that the price will do with this move, even if the price is going to break above, is to still come down. Now, how would we see that? Now, in that case, if price now will not break to the downside and will go up from here to finish up with 3. So what will now happen is that price would have now turned this A to a wave 1, B to a wave 2. So in that situation where price turns this one B to wave 2, then this one that is completing will now be a wave 3-1. So if it's going to now be a wave 3-1, at least what we expect is that price should do a 3-2 at 61.8 at least. So if price turns back from that area, assuming price turn from this area that we say, assuming from this area, so a 61.8 from this level to this level will be around this area. At least price should still come to around 85,400, 0.85400 before turning up higher. So if we get a price action for further downside, then we know. Or we are counting the internal structure of this one because it may run like a three-wave structure, like an A again, a B, and a C to the downside. So we'll see how everything works. But for now, once we have a sell, this will be the minimum level to expect the price to return. So that is how to look at all these things. So I hope you understand what I've shown you. I want to believe that it's no more than 30 minutes. Let me stop here.